You're sitting in a dealership. The salesperson has run the numbers 3 times. They slide the paper across the desk and say, "It's only $547 a month." And honestly, you feel relieved. That's manageable. You can do $547 a month, so you sign. And then you drive home in your new car, and somewhere in the back of your mind, a quiet alarm goes off that you immediately ignore. Because the car feels great, it smells new, and $547 a month isn't that bad. Here's what that quiet alarm was trying to tell you, and why ignoring it might be one of the most expensive financial decisions you ever make. My name is Wesley, and I spend way too much time thinking about the hidden costs that quietly destroy people's wealth-building potential. If you're someone who has a car payment right now and tells yourself it's just a normal part of life, or you're about to finance your next vehicle and assume everyone does it this way, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Here's the thing. The auto industry, and specifically auto financing, is one of the most psychologically sophisticated wealth extraction systems ever designed, and I mean that literally. Dealerships are not in the business of selling you cars, they are in the business of selling you monthly payments. Here's what most people don't realize. The average new car payment in the United States hit $738 per month in 2024, according to Admins. The average loan term is now 68 months, nearly 6 years. And the average interest rate on a new car loan? 7.1% as of late 2024. Let's do the real math on that. A $40,000 car financed at 7.1% over 68 months means you're making $738 payments for nearly 6 years. Total paid? Around $50,200. That's $10,200 in interest on top of the purchase price for a vehicle that will be worth roughly $16,000 to $20,000 when you finally own it. You paid $50,000 for something worth $18,000. And the moment your loan ends, the dealership is already calling about your next one. This is where it gets really interesting. The average American will have a car payment for essentially their entire working life. Think about that. Not one car, not two. An unbroken chain of 60 to 72-month loans back to back from their mid-20s to retirement. Each one carefully sized to feel affordable at the monthly level while bleeding thousands in interest and depreciation every single year. Now you might be thinking, Wesley, I needed a car. I didn't have $40,000 in cash. And look, I hear you. But I want to separate two things, needing a car and the way you're being sold that car. The monthly payment framing is one of the most effective psychological tools in retail history. When a salesperson shifts the conversation from total price to monthly payment, they are exploiting something called payment decoupling, a behavioral economics phenomenon where breaking a large cost into small chunks dramatically reduces our perception of how much we're actually spending. There's actual research on this. A study published in the Journal of Marketing Research found that consumers consistently underestimate total expenditure when costs are presented as recurring small payments rather than lump sums, by as much as 30 to 40%. You don't feel like you're buying a $50,000 asset. You feel like you're committing to cable TV. And here's the other layer. Cars are deeply tied to identity. The make, the model, the newness, they signal something about who we are to other people. The auto industry knows this and prices accordingly. They're not just selling transportation, they're selling a feeling, and feelings, historically, are very expensive. Here's the number I want you to sit with for a second. $738 a month. Let's look at what that same amount, redirected, does over the same 68-month loan period, and then beyond. If you invested $738 per month into a broad market index fund with a conservative 8% annual return, starting the same month you would have made your first car payment, over 68 months, you'd have accumulated approximately $68,000. Not a car worth $18,000, $68,000 in a growing investment account. And if you left that $68,000 invested and never added another dollar, in another 20 years at 8% annual return, it becomes roughly $317,000. The opportunity cost of one financed car compounded over a working lifetime is not thousands of dollars, it is potentially hundreds of thousands. Look, I'm not saying never own a car. Transportation is a real need. I'm saying be brutally honest about the actual cost. The sticker price is not the cost. The monthly payment is not the cost. The total financed amount plus interest plus the opportunity cost of that capital, that is the cost. And for most people, that cost is life-altering. So what's the actual alternative? 3 things, and they're simpler than you think. First, drive what you can buy in cash, or close to it. A $10,000 to $15,000 used vehicle with solid reliability ratings gets you everywhere a $40,000 financed vehicle gets you and keeps $600 to $700 a month in your pocket. Brands like Toyota, Honda, and Mazda consistently top reliability surveys at used price points. The transportation utility is almost identical. The financial outcome is completely different. Second, if you must finance, use the total cost test before you sign. Take the monthly payment, multiply by the number of months, add any down payment. That is your real number. If that number causes you genuine discomfort, it should. That discomfort is information. Don't suppress it with the feeling of new car smell. Third, once your current car is paid off, keep driving it and redirect that payment. If you're making $400 a month on a car loan and you pay it off, and then you invest that $400 for the next 3 years, you will have quietly built a cash car fund for your next vehicle while simultaneously building wealth. Most people never do this. They celebrate the payoff for 2 weeks and then get back in a dealership. Here's the analogy. A car payment is a subscription to a depreciating asset. Every month, you're paying for something that is worth less than it was last month, contrasted with an investment where every month your money is working to be worth more. One direction builds wealth. One direction quietly prevents it. I'm not here to make you feel bad about the car in your driveway. You made the best decision you could with what you knew. But now you know more, and that changes what your next decision looks like. The car payment isn't just a bill, it's a monthly vote against your own financial future. And the good news is, every vote you cast from this point forward is yours to change. Drive what you have a little longer, make the extra payments, buy used with cash when you can, and put the difference somewhere it grows. That's not deprivation, that's strategy. If this made you look at your car payment differently, drop a comment below. I want to know what you're driving and what you're thinking about changing. Subscribe if you haven't already. Every week I put out videos designed to help you understand money in a way that actually changes what you do with it. I'll see you in the next one.